Hey, Chica, welcome to another episode of Chica We Got This podcast. This is your host, Maria Lisa, and today I am accompanied by La Chulita Priscilla. She is a beautiful young girl joining us today. And the reason why she's joining us, we'll find out very soon because I'm going to ask her some questions, get to know her a little better. And this is something I'm doing with also a bunch of other Latinas. And it's because we got this amazing opportunity, the Latina Follow Train. It has been amazing. It has blessed so many of us with new followers and a lot of support that is genuine, hopefully. But I'm so excited that it's happened and it's been a blessing for me. So I've taken the opportunity to interview a bunch of Latinas and get to know them, know their story, what they do, what they don't do, what they like, all the good stuff, and just make new friends and use my platform as a place for them to put themselves out there, make friends, and grow. So let's get into today's episode with our girl Priscilla Martinez Rincon. Her Instagram and her TikTok is La Chulita _Pris. So go follow her. And she also has a YouTube, Priscilla Martinez Rincon. Look her up. It's very raw cut, so go support my girl. But let's get into today's episode by getting a little, who I am from Priscilla. Hey, girl. So
Yeah.
tell us, what do you do? What do you don't do? Where are you from? So give us a little.
So I was born here in Arizona. I'm not gonna give my exact location because creepers.
Yeah.
But I will say though, even though I was born in Arizona, my dad was in the military, so I'm technically an army brat. So I've been a little bit of everywhere. I will say that around 1 years old, I was in Europe, so I could throw that in my brother's face. I was the
That's
only
cool.
child who was in Germany around that time, within my family. So I like to
Dang, you
brag that
got
a lot to
blessed.
my brother. I will say though a little short story about that. My mom and my dad would tell me all the time. Yeah, when we were over there, we would take her to the little rio that's over there. I don't know the exact name, let alone I can't pronounce it. They would take me over there and they would just give me baths there for some fucking reason. Yeah,
Like the
in the
cold
rio over
water?
there in Germany. I guess I don't know if it was like in the summertime or in the springtime, but they would take me there all the time.
Oh my gosh. That,
Yeah.
that sounds fun though. Like plunge you
Yeah.
as a kid.
Yeah, pretty much. My brother's like, y a mí nunca me llevaron a Europa. Like, I'm like, no. By the
I
time you were
went.
there, our father was ready to retire. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't about you, bro.
No. So I'm like the special one. I'm just kidding. I am the only girl. It's just me and my little brother. He's currently right now in California, enjoying his best life over there in Disneyland right now.
Mm,
A little bit jealous.
oh, fun, right? I
Yeah.
want to be in Disneyland, but no, I actually want to be exactly where I am. But Disneyland sounds fun.
Yes. I'm 27. I'm gonna be 28. Almost in
When?
30s. In August. I'm a Leo.
Hey, Leo, my fire babies.
Yes. Also, coincidence, my brother is also a Leo. He's July 27th.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
There
we
must
do
be a
butt
lot of
heads.
energy, right? A lot of
Mhm.
energy together.
Yeah. People say, oh, but I bet you guys get along. And I'm like, I
You
mean,
wish.
no. We do
What
butt
about
heads.
your parents?
I believe my mom is Cancer and my dad is a Taurus. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I feel
Very
like
chill
they,
signs, I feel like. Every time I meet
yeah,
someone who around those signs, pretty chill. Not
yeah.
a lot of
Okay,
drama.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Got you. Okay, so what do you do now? What are your hobbies, or if you have a
Um,
certain job?
so my hobbies right now is just try and make people laugh right now on TikTok or on my YouTube, just doing makeup because I actually work for Ulta part time. And honestly, I'm not
Mm,
gonna lie, I was pretty happy when I got the job because I love anything that has to do with makeup. I've been told by many of my family members that I should try and become professional at it so I can like freelance. But I'm like, eso cuesta
yeah.
dinero and
True.
time. And honestly, I don't got a lot of time because tengo dos hijas. So, y luego no. I know this is very taboo for some people, but or very like touchy subject, but yo no tengo mi licencia. Ya tengo casi 28 años y no tengo mi licencia de manejo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it freaks me out to like try and get it. Trust me, I tried 6 times. I haven't passed.
Get out. What gets in the way? No, like the most.
I've been
What's
told that I get test anxiety. That has
okay?
been more fully confirmed since I had a panic attack slash anxiety attack twice so far last
Oh,
year. Yeah. So
understandable.
I'm trying to push through it. I kind of made it my self goal to try and get over that trauma and try and get it because I know it's a necessity and more than ever now.
Yeah, life is gonna test you, and sometimes it
Oh
comes
yeah.
in paper, and yeah, it's gonna get in the way of things. And I don't get it because I haven't experienced what you did, but I remember that's my mom told me that I have testing anxiety, and um, a lot of times I go into tests, and of course I'm just sweating, I'm stressing, all the information gone, period. Like I literally
Yep.
cannot tell you anything. And one time I failed a math exam because of the anxiety. I missed a whole 2 pages from the amount of flipping around the pages and not knowing what
Mhm.
to do. I missed a whole 2 pages of things that I needed to do and I failed it. And like that in multiple ways happened to me with like SATs and ACTs. Like, girl, no.
I will say though, I took it upon my damn self like around I think it was my junior or sophomore year. I know it's before I graduated senior year. Um, I took like tutoring to pass those specific state tests that are here in
Mm.
Arizona, and those even helped me a little bit more. But I know my strong suit were writing and reading and not so much math I'm kind of suck at it. I'm still working on it, but I took those classes or courses I should say just to help me out a little bit more, so no shade.
Nice. And
If they had that for
yeah,
weekend driving I would be more into it, but fortunately they don't.
yeah,
I You just have to self-study yourself.
yeah, that's true. But that's awesome that you're better at the reading and writing because that's where I really suck. I
Girl, I
just
got you.
with the time crunch, I'm reading and I'm like, okay, nope, I gotta start over. And like once again, like I'm just stressing out while I'm reading, and then I realize I wasn't reading. So I have to start over. It's a whole thing, but I'm glad that you've managed that and gotten a little further ahead.
Yeah.
So working at Ulta, tell me about that. Who inspires you in the makeup world, and what
Honest.
got you to apply?
So honestly, it started off with watching Nicole Guerrero. She was honestly the first OG beauty guru that I watched when I was back in high school. And then from there, I started watching Jeffree Star. Who else? I love Sarai, who is La Platica's fiance, A Sebas. They're engaged. So
Mm,
I follow her. I follow like a bunch of other like influencers, but most of the ones that I truly, truly still follow are the ones who are Latina based because I'm like, I'm not gonna relate to someone who's like Jeffree Star because he's not Latino. I relate more who are Latinos like Louis Castro. Um, I forgot his name, but I kind of made like little chit chats with him. I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry, but
you're good.
he kind of pushed me more into becoming more in the beauty space here on like YouTube or TikTok. So if I remember, I think it was Alan, but I don't think I spoke to him directly. I remember like commenting on his stories and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So, and then I got
Mm.
to actually meet him actually when I went to go see Carol G in Phoenix with one of my cousins. I kid you not, I have a YouTube video of me getting ready talking about the experience, and I literally cried on that video as well. But when I was having like kind of pretty bad day when I started going over there to the concert,
Mhm.
and it ended with a good note, but I ended up crying otra vez. Yeah.
I did, but that's a blessing, you know.
Yeah.
That's a blessing. Sometimes, some days will start really bad, and by the end, you're like, okay, and maybe I should be more open to the possibility of things going better.
Yes, but the way I started off applying for Ulta was generally because I left my call center job. I also had a YouTube video talking about it. I didn't name the specific company because they're not bad. It's just the type of leadership roles that certain people took, you know, wasn't what I thought it was. How they
Mm-hmm.
should be treating people or should be expecting their standards or reality to set certain goals. It's not realistic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I had enough. Like, I have no issues going back to being phone support. I don't care. I could talk all day on the phones. I don't care. Um, but if you're gonna lower my pay, even though I did like maybe 9 years of whatever I did before, like no,
You
yeah.
got me fucked up if you're gonna lower my pay.
I told them, no hay pedo, like voy a tomar las llamadas, no hay pedo, pero no me bajen el sueldo. They were like, no,
No.
te vamos a bajar el sueldo y te quedas como vas a tomar llamadas. No, that's not enough.
No. Bye.
Especially here, the everything, everything in the country has inflated and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, here in Arizona, I believe the minimum wage is $12. It's still not enough.
No, that cannot sustain
No,
anybody.
no. So I will say, like around the time that I left that job, I was still technically considered a bilingual quality assurance analyst before they asked me to go sit down and take phone support. And they wanted to lower it to, I think it was 15 at the time. And I was like, no, I earned my pay. I don't care if I was at a different position. You should honor that amount that I earned. And they basically said no. But that is why I quit with them. And y era un pedo. You can watch my YouTube video on it. I had like turquoise hair. But I basically puse ahí en mi video que era un pinche pedo para salirme. Like they would not take my 2 weeks.
Oh,
Yeah.
they said no, I'm not accepting that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not showing up.
Basically, but I did have a couple friends there in the company, and they were like, "No, we got you. Don't worry." And I'm like, "Okay." But I
Okay.
left there. I went to Ulta, and now I'm at another call center, and now I feel like it's biting me in the ass because uh the way they're training is like you have to make sure you're perfect, I guess, and not ask too
Mm-hmm.
many questions about the product or how to get to a specific thing to resolve the colors issue. Um, so hopefully next week, I don't know if I will be fired or not, but I still have
Well,
my other job. And honestly,
exactly.
I told my fiance that I'm not gonna leave that specific part-time job because I truly do like it. Like I love it. Like I walk around, I'll fix the inventory, or I'll ask like what other girls you need help with something. Like, and then they always will need like someone who speaks Spanish there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have people from like Douglas, Nogales, like coming down and asking me like, "Hey, me puedes ayudar?" And I'm glad I'm always there because half the time they don't have someone who speaks Spanish. And it was so much fun and like ask like, "Oh, necesitas? You want me to color match you? Is there a specific thing or skincare you want to talk about? I can help you out." And they're like, "Yes." And yeah, I just love it.
Yay. Well, I'm glad you're helping people, and you should definitely keep that part-time. I hate people that just are focused on money and like, oh, I need to stick to this one thing. It just pays more. While I get it, you have bills to pay. Your soul is a bill as well, and you
Yes.
need to feed into it, you know? So keep whatever makes you happy and don't let it go. So on the note of happiness, I would love to know kind of something that has made you happy this year. Like what's something that's bringing you joy this year, and what's something that might also take away that joy, so to see if Latinas are going through the same stuff.
Honestly, that the only thing that has truly made me happy, even before this year or last year, are my kids.
Hmm.
I just
Yay.
love seeing them grow up and like, I'm like, "Ah, why can't you guys stay little? Stop growing up. I hate it so much." But they truly do bring me a lot of happiness. They give me a lot of hardship. I will say that, and heartache.
I'm sure.
I know. Bueno, no hacen caso. Ahí va la chanca, pero
Yeah.
but that makes me happy. The other thing that also does make me happy is my relationship. with my fiance. I'm only saying fiance because we are technically not married through the church. We're technically married through the court.
Well, married, period.
Yep, but I mean, in my viewpoint, like I'm still debating, do I want to still do the ceremony with like an officiant, or do I still want to do like the ceremony in the church due to being Catholic? That's my whole
Yeah.
thing right now that I'm dealing with, because we still haven't planned our wedding. We're kind of like pushing it off. Let alone, girl,
Yeah.
it's expensive to get like everything right now. Venue, wedding, like dresses, like I can't. It's too much.
Ugh. Right. It's very overwhelming to plan a wedding. And I was a part of one, gosh, was it like, I don't know, like 6 months ago? And I was a bridesmaid, and it was more of like a family wedding, like kind of small. So we all had to like pitch in and put some work in and set up all the tables and decorate the day before. And oh my Lanta, that's a lot of work. It is so much. So I hope that if you do follow through and like actually plan to do it, que te salga todo bien, salga todo fácil y que te bendigan con un montón de regalitos. But
Yeah,
yeah, so tell me something that's kind of been holding you back this year to get that happiness. Like what's something that you feel like is getting in the way?
I feel like it's pretty much my damn self. I feel like I get it in my way, honestly. And I hope
Yeah.
someone else feels that way, because you're not alone. Like I also feel like
Mhm.
I'm the one blocking myself. Like a lot of aspects that I've used to do, like I would always give up because I would make myself feel like, no, no eres suficiente, no lo estás haciendo bien. I would have all those negative voices coming at me, my own voices. And I know, like when I went through therapy, like pretty much early on in the pandemic after I gave birth, um, my therapist at the time was telling me, like, those are your own voices, those are no one else's voices. You can replace the voice of who it is it's telling you, but it's ultimately your own voice telling you that you can't do this, you can't do that, or you're not worth this, or you're not good enough. You have to push back and tell yourself, like, no, you are good enough, you can do this, you have to push yourself to do this. So that's what I'm trying to do as well with my TikTok and my YouTube, is trying to push myself to be out there. Just do it. Just who cares? Just,
Yeah.
y ahorita le dices a todo mundo que me vale M lo que digan la gente. Like, be that. Like, I have to become that. Like, no, I can't just, walk the walk. I have to do the walk and talk at the same time.
Hmm.
Like, I just have to get out of my own dang self, because I feel like I'm not
Exactly.
stopping myself. And I hope that
Yes.
correlates to anybody. Hopefully.
Yeah, yeah. I was talking with uh this beautiful girl earlier, Maria Padron, and it was the same thing. It was like it was her own negative self-talk that was holding her back. Like, no puedo, tengo miedo, no va a salir bien, no le bajan, they're not gonna care what I say, it's not gonna matter. Why am I even gonna put myself in the middle if it's not gonna come out right? And it's just a lot of you, and it's like you have control of what you say, you have control of how you feel. While it's hard because you're experiencing these things and your mind goes straight to like no, 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 if you don't put the effort in to make it a yes, honey, your life is not going to change. So you better not complain because you ain't putting the work in. So, you know, eat it up because you cooked it up, so you have no other option. But I honestly go through that a lot. I'm always thinking like, I just don't think that what I'm doing is even worth it. And I put in a lot of work into the things that I do. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a bad curse or something, but I make a lot of mistakes. While yes, it's a lot of what I do, like or how I do it. A lot of things I'll do it a little too fast and not check my mistakes and stuff. It's just like sometimes it's just like, oh, pero que is it me? Like me pasa, it's because it's me or what? Like I wish that we all it was easier for us to be nice to ourselves. but it takes a
Yeah.
little bit of work and a little bit of trouble. And sometimes other people can really get in the way of our
Mhm.
success and their criticism and their point of view of us and all the BS they decide to talk about us. It really gets into our heads. So how do you respond to like criticism of other people, even if it they might not say it to you, but you can kind of feel it, the vibe, and sometimes you even overhear it. So how do you respond to criticism? I know as a Leo, there are some people that are like, fuck you, and move
I
on. But
mean,
how do you?
so I mean, a little bit of that Leo coming out. I
Mhm.
rather just deal with the situation en vez de
Yeah.
esperar después de hacer el conflicto. I rather just do it now. I'm like, si tú tienes un problema conmigo, dímelo now. Porque a
Mhm.
mí me vale más lo que digan toda la gente. Like, si tú tienes un problema conmigo, me lo dices ahora mismo, and we'll
Mhm.
resolve it. Whatever I did, I'll take accountability. Pero like,
Yeah.
I just can't deal with it. Like at that moment, like if I really am that like in my head or it gets in my head, I can't deal with it in that moment. I'll wait because I have to calm myself down. Because I'm like, if
Mhm.
I am more reactive, then uh, I think it's like reactor or I can't. No me puedo acordar la palabra.
I know what you mean. I know what
Yeah,
you mean. It's like it's like fight or flight. Like you either like go out for it or keep it in.
yeah. Like half the time I do try to keep it in because I know like with me, if I just blow up, I'm gonna blow up and it's gonna be way messier. So I
Yeah.
learned that through like all these years of not just with my relationships, but also with my relationship with my parents and my brother. Like I can't just blow up on them because then it will bite me in the ass. And I have learned that
Yeah.
so many times, especially with my dad, because he's a
Yeah.
very disciplined army man. He's like,
Oh
no puedes hacer
man.
eso. There's a time and a place. So I've been taking that more in account after I give birth to my kids. There's a time and a place. There's a time and a place of how to do certain things. So that's what I've been trying to do. Like if there's like a hater or whatever, I'm like, there's a time and a place. There's a time and a place. And if the place is not right now, then it's never gonna be ever again because they're just trolling and they're gonna do about their day. So I could care less. So that's what I've been trying to do mentally. It's like there's a time and a place, and if does it really bother me? No, not really. So I'll just move on from it.
Yes, yes. That's perfect. A lot of us need to be a little more like not too explosive because
Yeah,
it can hurt people and that's
yeah,
not our intention. It's just to let them know that I'm hurt. But I didn't mean to hurt you back. I just don't know how to
right.
respond to it. Yeah. So,
Eso and my tone. I will say that my tone has been a very big issue about it.
yeah.
The way you say it. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't mean it that way. They're like, yeah, pero tu tono. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry that my tone is very aggressive.
Yeah, yeah. That's my mom. Sometimes she doesn't understand how she says it. The way that I'm gonna receive it is just like the way you served it. I have no other way of
Yeah.
thinking of how you feel because I'm not inside of you. I don't know how it is, but I know it doesn't come from a bad place. And some people
Mhm.
are ready to whatever you say, they're like pendiente, like, oh, how can I get back at her? Like, oh, no lo dije, mira cómo me habla. Tararara. It's like you're paying attention to every little detail just to get back at me, huh? Just to get
Mhm.
back at me. Yes. So tell me a little bit about like what do you want, what is your goal with your YouTube? Like if in a perfect world, what is it gonna look like? And what do you want to do with it? Like what's your goal? We're trying to manifest here. So what is it gonna look like in a few years or even this year? You never know. So what do you want it to be?
So right now I can only deal with one goal for this
Yes,
for
yes.
this year for my YouTube. Honestly, is for me to make more content, more get
Hmm.
ready with me videos because that's what I mostly do. I only did
Hmm.
like other different genres of videos, like me explaining like why I quit, or me coming out as bisexual. Also me talking about a little bit of like postpartum. Like I still will like sprinkle that on while I'm doing makeup because it relaxes me when I put on my makeup and I talk about certain subjects. But I did put out there like on my TikTok, and I think I also did like a short video on YouTube, asking like my viewers like, well, what do you guys want me to do specifically while I'm doing my makeup? Because we can talk about certain topics. I can do a little bit of research of what we could talk about, or even ask anybody, in the TikTok or YouTube space about, and bring them on, just do like a little collab as well. Like, but I will say I will not edit my videos. I will never edit my videos. That is my goal. And if it gets up to hopefully my kind of like my cousin's standards, she has I think 2.1 million followers on YouTube. If I could get to that level without me editing my videos, I would be like, I'm doing something good. People are seeing me for being me without
Yeah.
the editing, without the special effects, because I know that takes a lot of work. And no shade for the people who edit their videos, but just for me, like I'm a mom, like I still don't know how I can do that, and also like discipline my kids. Like I don't know how to make the time for me to edit videos.
Yeah. There's only so much one person can handle.
Yeah, but if I could get to 2.1 million followers on YouTube, I would be pretty ecstatic.
Right?
Hell, like if I get invited to a Tres Luce party, that would be like the ultimate goal. Because I love Becky G and her makeup brand. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, that's awesome. And we can manifest that. So do not worry. It's happening. You just need to put your head into it.
Yes.
So, I know you mentioned that one of your YouTube episodes was about kind of coming out bisexual. How was that for you? Was it scary? Were you excited? What's the process been like for you?
So I was talking to my fiance about it, and I'm like, maybe I should do a YouTube video. Me coming out, giving out my coming out story, because I had multiple different ones. Family, friends, all that. And like with him, when I started dating him, I told him like, well, I like girls, so I hope you know that. And he's not phased, no celoso. I wish he was. Yo soy la más celosa. um, but he's like, go for it. I mean, you never know if you don't put it out there, because maybe someone will relate to you. And I'm like, that's true. So, and then honestly, I'm not gonna lie. After I was debating on making the video, I was on YouTube, como todo mundo, no? Scrolling, and I found like 5 different videos of women who are married with a man, but are still, are considered bisexual. So I was like, it's un pinche sign. So I did my video,
Yeah.
explaining like how I came out to my folks, my mom. She was more like, because she's like old school
Mhm.
Catholic. My dad
Mhm.
was more open minded. He kind of knew I already was, because I already showed signs that I liked women. With my brother, he's like, cool. No me robes mi
Cool.
novia. That's it.
That's funny. No me robes mi novia.
Yeah, and I'm like, we have different tastes, bro.
And then
I'm more of like, I don't know, like you heard her songs, Snow the Product. She's more of like la mujer que me gusta, tatuada, se vista como
Mhm.
hombre, como cholo. 'Cause I do it sometimes. I'm like, una que es así, like, oh, se me hacen hermosas.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like Kehlani.
Oh my gosh, she's fucking gorgeous.
She's a queen. Oh my gosh.
Oh
And
my god.
I feel like she's embracing it a little more now.
Yes, because I feel like before she was probably holding back. That was me like for like a few years. I only had one girlfriend. And she was the only like sexual partner that I experienced like with a man around that
Mhm.
time. Technically she's the one that popped my bisexual cherry. um,
Yes.
but yeah, I mean it was an experience. After her, I wasn't really drawn to anybody here in my hometown in Arizona. Um, Most of them are like, ¿cómo se dice? Muy, el estilo masculino, no tan femenino. And I kind of don't
Yeah.
like that. Me gusta más que sean like half and half. I think Snow said it on her one of her podcasts. She likes them very femme, and I like very femme women. but at the same time that are like little stem, that are semi masculine. No mucho,
Yeah.
pero tampoco que al extremo que the buzz cut and stuff like that. Like if that's what you like, that's what you like. Pero a mí me gustan más que son, que se arreglan, que tengan las uñas, que se pintan, cosas muy, así como yo, muy femenina. Like that's my vibe of a chick that I like. I will say though, I was nervous when I finally posted it. But I mean, I was like, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
That's
hope
why
people
like,
related to it.
yeah. And it's important to kind of just release that,
I
you
will say
know?
though, after I posted it, I got more connected with two of my cousins. They're not bisexual. Well, one of them is, but they were like more than like supportive. Like I didn't get any like hate from them or from the family. I will say though, like one of my cousins did distance herself from me. We don't really talk anymore. It's kind of
Mm,
sad because I mean, me and
yeah.
her are like a year apart. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
Se la pierde.
yeah. Um, but they were more than supportive. I mean, hell, they even went with me to the Carol G concert. Like, I am forever grateful for them coming with me. Um,
Yeah.
I will say, like, ever since COVID happened, like, I'm trying to reach out to all my cousins and just trying to be close with them because uno nunca sabe, you know? We only live one life. And it's very precious, you know, you don't know if it's short or not, but I'm trying to make the effort to be there for my family and my cousins and all that stuff. They might get annoyed, but I mean, I'm like, I'm here for you if you need me.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. I'm just like, sometimes some family members kind of not get on my nerves, but I don't know if anyone knows this about like Sag, although I like half believe like about the astrology, but the one thing that does kind of fit with me is I like my space, I like to travel, and I'm quick to like not cut someone off, but kind of like, yeah, basically. But I'm very much about my space, and anyone that kind of tries to like take that space and time away from me, I want to run away. I want to just run. So sometimes like family members will be like, hey, no te hemos visto, ¿dónde estás? You know, you haven't come and see us, or da 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 da. And I'm like, please stop saying that because it's gonna make me want to see you less. And it's not that I don't love you, I do. It's just the way I am. Once
That's too much.
I'm like, yeah, it's just like once it's over my head, ya yo lo que quiero botarlo. Like, just don't, you know what? Don't even contact me. And those people that don't contact me are the ones I call the most. It's
Dude, it
weird.
sounds like my mom. Like, oh, antes de entrar al podcast, me fui a la casa de mi mom. Y I will say, you know, how moms are, especially Latina moms. They're like, necesitas esto, esto, y esto, y esto. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
yes, okay, okay, okay. And I just left. So I was like, oh, this is why I barely want to go to my mom's half the time, especially when I'm sick. Because luego she
Mm.
thinks I'm not doing everything right. I'm just like, oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. I love them, but it's a lot.
Exactly, exactly. And I grew up alone. So like you know, having already more attention than I used to when I was a kid is overwhelming. So it's kind of like I didn't grow up surrounded by you, and now you're expecting me to come by and you're getting mad because I haven't. So it's kind of like, please, like, just bear with me. You weren't there before, and
Mhm.
I'm just not ready to be there now, you know? So like be patient.
Yeah.
But yeah, so family, you know, it's like that. I do want to go back to the your coming out video, and I want to ask you something because I experienced
Mhm.
this in college. What do you think about all these straight girls who like will fuck around with girls, but they're not like that's not their orientation? Like I remember one of my friends, they were a lesbian couple, and they were like, it's just, it shouldn't be okay because it's kind of like you just use me and walk away just because it's like a thing that turns you on. Like I'm not some kind of toy, I'm not some kind of like, you know, game or something like that. It
Mhm.
can hurt my feelings. So like I want to know from you, like what do you think about that? Because I saw that a lot in college, and I'm sure it still
I
exists, you know,
I
everywhere.
I did as well. Like it was not cool. I did try to hang out with this girl before like I got into this my current relationship. um she was just like tiptoeing around the subject, and I just straight up asked him like, do you want this to be a real thing or not? Because I'm willing to take you to meet my folks and stuff. And she's like, no, like I'm not really sure for sure. And I'm like, you're wasting my time. Do you know how many people have been dealing with this, and we're just now
Mhm.
making this a norm for us to be able to love whoever the hell we love? You're one of those people who is making it like still tough to this day. And I honestly agree with your friend. It's fucking frustrating. Like if you don't like that part of you, don't go
Mhm.
after it. I mean, be curious about it, but don't be like in a full blown relationship with someone if you're not all the way in and you're for sure that you are that and you like that. It's
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah, find yourself first and then come to me because you're not about to play with my feelings like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's happened to me a lot of times. Um, Even before college. I had like a couple others like in high school that were like and on the low side because I still wasn't comfortable coming out.
Hmm.
Um, but they would always be like, "Oh yeah, sí, lo soy," and then they're not, and I'm just like, "You're wasted my time. I could have
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
dating this guy and dating this girl who is,
Yeah.
secure about them damn selves."
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I'm glad you answered that question for me. Let's move on to a little more about kind of what this podcast is all about. Growth, healing, and everything like that. What has helped you kind of heal and get to where you are today? Like, do you do some kind of self-care routine? What do you like to do, like journaling, meditating, or what's your vibe? What do you like to do?
So I've actually been journaling, and that was a suggestion from my dad. Actually, he's like, if you're feeling this way with a lot of anxiety or a little bit depressed, write it down. Write down your feelings. You don't have to tell nobody. Just write it down. But I've been doing
Mm-hmm.
that, and I'm also, sometimes if I do have the chance to, be by myself, I'll do like the YouTube videos or a TikTok video. That
Yeah.
for me is kind of relaxing, and it kind of like gets me off of like not being so anxious, not being so depressed, because I do feel like I may be depressed. I haven't gone to a doctor. Don't yell at me, guys, on the comments. I know I haven't gone to the doctor for a while, but I need to just so I can confirm if I am or not.
Yeah.
Um, I've been doing those things. I've also been doing like skincare stuff, like my own dang facial, like the mask and stuff. Like that for me is like calms me down, just like self care,
Mhm.
self love, mind and body. So that's what I've been doing.
Okay, good. Yes. And a lot of people confuse self-care with like, and I talk about this in one of my episodes. I think it was a self-care episode that I said self-care isn't just face masks and like, a day off. It's also like revisiting trauma, sadly. And that's where journaling can really help a lot of people. It's
Mm-hmm.
going through it again, self-care. It's like mantener un carro, like you need to go and see what's wrong and work on it, and it's a lot about going through to the ugly stuff that we don't want to look at or we
Mm-hmm.
want to forget and revisit that. That's actually taking care of yourself. So very good insight here. I'm very glad. So I do want to ask a few like just get to know you questions that I've been asking the previous girls. I just have this long list of like get to know you questions, and I'm just like picking random stuff so we
You're
can,
fine.
it's what I do when I'm like making friends. So let's try it. Let's try it. So first question, let's see. What's the biggest obstacle that you're currently facing? I know we talked about yourself, but is there anything like getting in the way of your goals right now?
For me right now would be like that this new current job that I'm doing with,
Mm-hmm.
just trying to make it for me to be freaking solo on the dang phones because these people,
Yeah.
man, they want perfection,
Yeah.
and perfection is impossible.
Literally, I'm experiencing that right now. And while I love my job and I love my coworkers, I love my boss, I love all of the people that I work with.
Same.
I'm very blessed to be where I am in the group that I have. It's kind of like I don't want to let them down, but you need to kind of like your standards are a little too high. Like
Mhm.
it's a repetitive work, so I'm going to make more mistakes. I'm not perfect. It's literally been 4 months. Like don't expect me to be perfect, and it's just kind of like I don't want to let you down, but you're kind of letting yourself down expecting me to be perfect.
Yeah, that's what I'm dealing with right now. But all I can say is that I did meet another girl on TikTok. She told me, um, just do your best, and if your best is not good enough for them, pues ni modo, it wasn't in the cards. Será lo que
Yep.
Dios diga. So I'm living by that right now. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna give my best. Y si no me quieren, pues ni modo. I will find another job.
Exactly. And there's always another job.
Mhm.
So another rapid question is, if you could give your teenage self one sentence of advice, what would you share and why?
Dang. I don't know how to respond to that one because honestly, I was a rebelde mess when I was a teenager. I don't know if y'all have
Yeah.
seen Rebelde, but I was very much a Roberta Pardo. Me valía M.
I'm
I was
dead.
gonna be blunt to everybody, and me valía todos los haters. But closed doors, I would be like a Mia inside. Um,
Yeah.
one thing I would give myself would be like, try not to be hard on your dang self. Like you're young, you're gonna make mistakes, but you have to learn from those mistakes. That's all I would say to myself. Learn from your mistakes.
Yes, perfect. Yes. A lot of us are just like that's what I've heard from the entire day. It's just like a lot of us are just so hard on ourselves. We're not even
Mm-hmm.
like I haven't heard anyone be like, "Oh, this person was just like, getting on me and like just making my life harder." No, it's really just been ourselves. So
Yeah.
that's a little sad, but it's okay. Another question. What makes a good friend? Like what for you makes a good friend?
For me, well, I recently lost one of my best friends of 10 years, dude. Um,
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
no, it's fine. Um, honestly, you really get to know someone who's really your friend when they're there for you for certain situations. I will say that the two best friends that I still currently have, one of them we kind of rekindled our relationship because she kind of gave us more insight for me and the other best friend of what went down with the one that I lost because I was closer to that one that's no longer in my life. Honestly, I would just say just being honest and being real. Um, that's what I would say becoming a best friend is just being there for your friends on the good times and the hard times. And even if you fight, like just talk it out. It took me a
Yeah,
while to talk it
yeah.
out with my third best friend. Because she kind of took someone else's place, like
Side.
fue con
Yeah.
la que no era de nuestro grupo, and then we came back, and she's like, tenías razón. And I will say about that
Mm,
situation, I told my friend Alexa, because she stayed with me during that situation. I told her I'm not gonna say anything to her. I'm not gonna reveal her secrets to her family. I'm not gonna do none of that. All I can say is that she's gonna realize that the person she followed is not really who the person she should have been. She should have stayed with. It would have been me and you. Like it will
yeah.
bite her in the ass later on in the end, and it did. She told us she was in the wrong. Um, but I'm like, uno pues no sabe, you know. Pero lo único que puedo decir es
Yeah.
que una amistad de verdad va a estar ahí en los buenos y los malos tiempos. You just have to, have those tests, I guess, in life to see who are really your friends are and who's loyal to you, honestly.
Yeah. That's why like when people get into relationships, and I learned this myself, it's kind of like if you really want to know if you like this person, give it time. Give it plenty of time, because then you're going to both go through things together and you're going to understand, oh, this person, when shit hits the fan, this person is a bitch when they're stressed. And that's not what I need in my life, because they're going to get stressed in the future and I'm not about to be a punching bag. So definitely friends that are supportive and will be real with you. My girl, I talk about her a lot, but that's because she's my other half. My best friend Shania, she like will tell it to me straight. She'll be like, and I said this in another episode, but it was just so funny today. I'm very unhinged sometimes, and I'll say things, and she's like, Mari, sometimes I just want to get in your head and be like, knock on the door and be like, is there anybody there? And I'm like, I agree. Sometimes I just don't use my brain. Like, it's just, she puts me in my place in a way that I appreciate. And she's not rude or mean about it. She's just doing it out of love. And we just work well together, and I can trust her to put me in my place when I need it the most, versus other people that are just gonna like either walk away or do it rudely and just not know how to like handle it, you know? So yes, friends are very, very important. And I'm glad that I'm making friends with everyone up in here. It's been amazing to feed. It's been crazy, hasn't it?
Oh my God, yes. I'm not gonna lie. I started with like maybe 600 on TikTok, and then after that I don't know who originally did the voiceover,
Right. I
but
don't know
after
either.
that, oh my God, it went up and up. It's still going up. Like I'm still like, F it. I'm gonna follow who I wanna follow. Like for la Latinas, I'm like follow. Haces comida, follow. DIY, follow. Fitness,
Yes.
follow. Give me all the tips, girl.
Right. I've been following everyone. And although it's hard, because sometimes you're like, I work and then I come back and I have like this long list of follows. I'm like, scroll, one by one. I'm trying to let them know that I'm here to support them. But oh, and it's so sad, the people that are unfollowing. What is
Oh, I didn't
wrong
know
with
that.
y'all? Yeah, I made a little TikTok earlier about people unfollowing, and like girls were like, I agree. Like I thought I was the only one seeing that, but some girls are unfollowing after they get a bunch of follows.
What the
Yeah, they're
heck?
like, go back and unfollow. Mm-hmm.
That's rude. Like if you're really gonna support our fellow Latina like creators or in general just Latinas on TikTok or YouTube, you shouldn't be doing that. Like
Right.
we want to go to these events. Like there's nothing wrong for wanting to manifest that. Like come on. We are our
Right.
own worst
Exactly.
enemies at the same time we're our best supporters. Like it's so frustrating. Like I get that person.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm excited for all the things that we're trying to host and do. I was telling y'all about having a beach trip sometime. There's one of the
Yes.
girls that I followed is a travel agent. So you best believe she said, I'm happy to help you guys. And so we can make it a reality. That'd be so
Yes.
exciting. But I cannot wait. I'm very excited. But wrapping up this episode, I want to ask you, what advice do you have for us Latinas to walk into our power, to just get to that point where we want to go? Like, knowing what you've been through and knowing where you are today, what advice do you have for us?
I would say the best way to empower yourself is just being yourself and telling yourself you are enough. You are a queen. I say this to myself in the mirror. I'm not gonna lie. You are a queen. You are enough. You got this. Every day is a new freaking day to conquer. So that's all I can really
Yeah.
say. You can conquer every freaking day that you are a queen and you're gonna slay every day.
Slay, slay queen. Yes. You should do a little like affirmation TikToks every day. I want to
Girl,
hear you say it.
I might have to honestly.
Yes, do it, do it. I will listen to it every day. So, thank you so much for being on this episode.
Of
I
course.
really appreciate you being here. Do you have anything else that you want to touch on? Let us do you, well, no, let's not share that. I was like, let us know what Ulta you're at so we can go and see you, but let's not. So no one shows up. Only the right people that are meant to be with
Yes.
you. But I
Yeah, I'll
really
tell
hope
you
you have
offline.
Yeah, offline. And if I'm ever in Arizona, you best believe I'm popping up. I'm not very good with makeup, but I'm learning. I'll go to Ulta and I'll literally not even look. I'll just go to like an employee and I'll be like, yo, I really need your help. I'm assuming you know more than me. So they helped me one time to get a really cute concealer by Julius.
Oh, they're really, really good.
Looking all right. Yeah. The only thing it was like a little too light, but it was because it was my winter time. So estoy
I feel you.
más blanquita.
I feel you because I
Yeah.
do the what's it called, the dermaplating. Me veo más clara.
Really? I was thinking of
Yeah,
starting that. Is it painful?
not really. I will say it because when I started doing the pilar de well, my peach fuzz, I went to Mexico and I had this lady and she did it with an hilo and that shit hurt. But I'm like, la belleza cuesta. But with the dermaplaning, they get like a little like razor that you would see like at a doctor's office, and they would just go and go and go, and it doesn't hurt. I mean, I have very dry skin, so I mean, I would start like breaking out right here, but that for me is normal because around the winter time, I'm like super dry around here.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I
I was
highly
thinking of
recommend for
starting
my
that.
girlies if you guys wanna, depilarse la cara, vayan a hacerse un dermaplating.
Okay. I'm starting by waxing. Like I just had my first, not just now, but started waxing my like lady stash,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to like get it to kind of all come out at the same time, kind of, if you know what I mean.
Uh-huh.
So, but I used to do threading on my eyebrows and it will never not be painful. I stopped because I just couldn't do it anymore. I'm not gonna keep doing this when it hurts like a bitch. Like
I
why?
feel you
The
there.
eyebrows are gonna come out the same.
I am trying to grow out my fucking eyebrows because I don't have the time or patience like my mom who wants to microblade her eyebrows.
Oh no. Mm-mm. My mom tattooed hers and she was like, I'm done. Period.
Oh no, she wants to
All
do
one
that, but they have
tattoo.
my. I'm like, like a regular tattoo, you gotta get it retouched a few months later and shit. She's like, ah, entonces no, pero al menos que tú me lo pagues, and I'm like, yeah, I don't got $500 for that.
Right? Dice quién?
Yeah,
I'm dead. But yes, I've had such a good time talking to you. You are a
same.
whole vibe. I love it. So make sure to book some other time to come back. You're
Yeah,
welcome to come
girl,
back. So
anytime.
yes. And thank you for being on all the lives. I am trying to, put myself out there and do more
Yes,
lives and
girl, we were
have fun
getting
with
it.
it. Right? Teníamos RBD night.
Yes.
So lit. I lost a lot of sleep because I was having such a good time. I wouldn't be able to sleep anyways. I want to sleep at like 3.
Girl.
So it's been wild, but it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Same.
So thank you so much, girl. I
Yes,
hope
of
to have you
course.
back, and I'll have these episodes out next week, and for all my girls to listen. But everyone listening, thank you for joining. Remember to follow our girl la_chulita_priest. Priscilla Martinez Rincon on YouTube. Make sure to follow. I already subscribed, so
Ah, okay.
make sure to follow and subscribe. Yes, like her content and let her know that you heard her episode and that you had a whole good ass time listening. So make sure to tap in, and thank you so much for listening. I love you guys and I cannot wait to hear you. Well, I can't wait for you to hear me on the next episode. I love you all. I'll see you there.